So we're going to begin by assembling the walls of our tray. And although there are 4 of these pieces, the assembly is going to be identical for all 4. And what we're doing is literally just constructing the main walls. So we're going to fold at the score lines here, and all we're going to do is just glue this on top of itself like that, and then we're going to eventually create a box out of it and then glue the ends. So just to make it simple and just to make sure that you're getting it done accurately, I'm going to lay this piece flat here and just begin by putting glue on this tab. And just be very careful. Make sure you get a nice amount of glue on there and try to get out to the edge the best that you can. And then just fold this piece over and just hold it down until it gets a good grip. Just push and hold that down. These pieces are going to create the structure, so we want them to have a really good hold. And once it's got that hold, you can kind of pop it into place. Okay, as you can see there. And then we're going to take these little teeth here, fold them in, and put glue right on these teeth. Try to get some glue out to the edge and just close that. You can pop that down on your table and use that force to keep that into place. And while you're doing that, you can take these guys here and push them down. Okay, it's kind of nice when they pop out. Kind of let go of that too soon here. Hold on. Let me just fix that real quick. And just push and hold that into place. I'm just going to use my finger actually. Just be patient, let it dry, wipe off any excess glue that you might get. Try to be neat, but remember that we will be covering up a lot of this with panels and things of that nature, so you don't have to get it perfect, but we always strive for perfection. And then we're going to go ahead and close it up. Putting glue here. And just close that. Make sure you got it nice and lined up, and just hold that into place until it gets a good grip. So you are going to repeat this process 3 more times with these pieces here. And the process again is very much the same. It's actually identical. It's just that 2 of them are just a little bit shorter. So go ahead and do that, and we'll catch up here in a minute. What we're going to do next, we can put these pieces to the side for now. We got 4 of these. Now originally when we designed this, we tried to make it all one piece, but we found it to be very difficult. So we actually separated them, and then we're going to piece them together at the end to form our nice little round corners. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking these teeth and folding them in and just kind of getting them trained. I'm going to put them back out, and what we're going to do is we're going to bend this around and we're going to glue it to itself. Okay, so we're going to take this tab and glue it to the inside of this piece here, and we're going to have a square edge, but then a round part here, and that's just naturally going to curve. And we'll show you what we're going to do to help it maintain that perfect curve. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on this tab here, and I'm going to glue that into place, making sure that the edge of this piece that I'm holding in this hand lines up nicely with the score mark on the other end. Just kind of hold that into place, and while it dries, wipe off any excess glue. Okay, now we want a nice 90-degree angle here. I'm going to move these tabs out of the way, and then I'm going to take these tabs and fold them in. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these pieces, this is a liner piece, we're going to stick it in there, and that's going to help us maintain the correct form for this piece here. So what we can do is put that flat on our table, and put some glue on the tabs and then also on the little individual teeth. Okay, I'm going to take this piece, just slide it in there, get it up against the edge, and then kind of push the rest of it into place so that it hugs that outer part of the round part of that liner piece. Okay, and just make sure that you're applying force all the way around. Do your best. Make sure that's got a good hold. Okay, and what we can do then is we can flip this guy over, and we're going to take one of these pieces and we're just going to glue that right on the bottom. Okay, and there you go. Okay, then we're going to take this, and actually while I have it, I'm going to just kind of add some force, make sure that piece sticks. We're going to fold these tabs over like so. I'm going to put glue on these tabs here, get it out to the edge, and we're just going to cover it up. I'm going to grab another piece without the hole in it and cover that up like so, and just hold that in place until it gets a good grip. You may need to kind of smush things around just to make sure that it gets a good hold. Okay, so you've got your little pie shape. You want to repeat this process 3 more times until you get all of your little pie shapes. Okay, so we have the walls of our tray all assembled, and they're going to go together just like this, and all we're doing is piecing these parts together. So I'm going to begin by putting glue on this end cap here, and I'm just going to move these out of the way for a second so that I can focus on this. And the idea is to just make sure that it's nice and flush on the edge here, okay, just like that, and just hold that into place until it holds. Okay, now that doesn't look great right now, but again, it's gonna be liner pieces all over this thing, and you know, we tried making it all one piece, and it just proved to be very, very difficult. So we tried it this way, and it was just so much easier to get all these pieces into place. And then because we, you know, threw a liner around it and on top, it keeps it sturdy but easier to assemble. So that's got a good hold. We're going to take our next piece and just place some glue right on this little end cap. Okay, and just going to join these pieces together. Just run your finger back there. Just make sure that it's nice and flush. Okay, and give it a good minute to really hold and kind of push these two pieces together and keep them in constant contact. Okay, so I've got one little piece left here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put glue on the end of this guy and just smush him into place. Again, just kind of running my finger across the two that are connected here, just ensuring that it's nice and flush, and just hold it and make sure that it gets a good grip. Okay, now these pieces, again, everything's gonna be covered up, so don't need to worry about any imperfections. And even this piece that goes over it, it's got a little bit of a lip. It's gonna go over this here too, so it's gonna hide a lot of the imperfections. The square pieces, of course, they're very easy to put together. The round pieces, they can be a little tricky, but as long as you get the basic structure, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna flip this over, and actually, it doesn't even matter which side is which. I'm gonna grab this long piece here. Now, there's two of these pieces. One has tiny little score marks cut into it, and you want that facing through the tray because those are gonna help line up these little panels that are gonna go inside. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put glue on this entire piece here. And you kind of almost want to get it out to the edge, but not quite, because this piece here, it is designed to fit this thing perfectly, but depending on how well you constructed this perimeter, it may not overlap it perfectly, and then there's a little bit of margin of error because of the paper being up against each other at these little connection points. But again, once we put the liner pieces on, it's not going to be a big deal. You won't even be able to tell. So get your glue on there real good. Okay, and again, just make sure that the little score lines are showing through. Put that down, and for me, it's pretty dang close. Actually, it's pretty spot on, which means that I must have done a pretty decent job constructing the base of this. Okay, so just push that down and make sure that it has a real good hold, and that's going to start sturdying things up for us here. Okay, so there's that, and then we also have another piece here for added strength. I'm going to take the texture side and put that facing up. So I'm going to actually, let me see if I can get the big guy going here, because this is a big job. All right, big job for, ooh, he's out of control today. So again, just getting the glue out to the edge there. And I'm going to put this piece right on there. Oops. Make sure that has a really nice hold. Okay, so we're going to take this liner piece and I'm going to place glue along the perimeter here. You probably just want to get a nice amount of glue all over this. Now this tip, I cut it and it's really spewing the glue out pretty thick, which is okay because I really want this to stick. We're going to take this piece and just lay it over and just do your best to get that perfectly aligned. And it is going to have a little bit of a lip that's going to be kind of coming through here. And that's quite all right, actually. That is by design. Just do your best to make sure that's got a good hold. Okay, so once we have that piece on there, I'll just kind of go through this quickly and show you the gold foil piece here. Okay, these pieces are just going to get glued on like so. Okay, and it's going to go on like that. So these little corner pieces here want to connect, obviously, and we're going to be putting a flower over this area, so that's going to hide any sort of imperfection there. You have 4 little gold foil circles. They're going to go there. Okay, and we also have these pieces here, and again, if you look at your cutout here, actually this black piece in here, there are score lines, okay, that will help you place this correctly. So you just want the ends of these to butt up against the little score lines on your paper, like so. So you do that 4 times, and then you're going to glue your decorative piece or your statement piece in the middle, okay? And then we also have little panels or strips for the exterior. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. Okay, and this longer one is going to get glued to the side there. Okay, any shorter ones, obviously, are going to get glued to the side there. Okay, so you're going to glue those down. And then all that's really left to do at this point is to construct the little dimensional flowers that go on the ends here. And we've got this little leaf piece here, and it does have some score marks, and that's just to kind of add some dimension, okay, to the leaves. So you can kind of crease them at the score marks so that they kind of flare out just a tiny little bit, okay, just like that, okay. And these are going to be glued down like this. And again, you want to glue these on top of the gold foil piece that has the cut through the center to cover that up. So those are going to get glued on opposite sides after you get them creased. And then we just need to construct the flower and then get that glued down. And our project is pretty much done. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put together the little dimensional flower that we have here. So we've got 4 of these petals. We've actually cut these out of vellum. And in our final version, we've actually inked the edges of it with like a pink ink, and it looked really cool. Now with these pieces, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a little bit of glue about here, and then we're taking this piece, just kind of overlapping it until it's kind of flush with itself to create this little curve. Okay, so we'll let that dry and repeat that process. So we're just gonna put a little bit of glue here. Just don't need that much. And just overlap it so that we get that nice curve. And I think the more you overlap it, the more curve you're gonna get. The idea is just to kind of create a few of these and then sandwich them together. And then what we can do, and this is gonna form the outer part of our flower. I'm just going to put some glue on this piece here. And I'm going to take this piece that is curved a lot more and just glue it down like so. And just hold that until it gets a good hold. Okay, we're going to put some more glue in there. Pop that piece in there. So again, we're just kind of creating the outer ring of this flower. Okay. So vellum tends to dry pretty quickly, which is awesome. So you can really power through this. And that last piece there, pop that in there. And it definitely does look cool if you add some ink to it. So you're welcome to do that for demonstration purposes. I'm just going to omit the inking. Okay, so there's that. And then we've got this piece here. So we're going to score these, or fold them at the score marks, I should say. Okay, so with this piece, we're going to fold everything at the score lines here. And the pieces here that have the teeth, okay, what you want to do is kind of form a square with those pieces so that all the teeth are kind of touching like that. Hopefully you can see that. And there is a little tab here. I'm going to put some glue on this tab and form that little square and glue that tab into the inside of this flower in here and just hold that down. So it should look like that. Okay, and again, we inked ours. You don't have to. All right, so we've got that. Actually, I'm going to be a little more patient and let that dry. Okay, and then make sure my finger doesn't get stuck in there. There we go. We're going to wrap this other part around. Okay, and then there's also a tiny little tab there. We're going to put a little bit of glue on that and just glue that to the outside, just like that. So it looks kind of like a little takeout box, kind of. So that's how that works. And then you've got the little tabs inside there. We're going to put glue in those on top there. And there's this tiny little square piece. We're just going to pop right in there. And it's going to kind of maintain this little takeout box shape. Okay. So we're going to take this piece here and just kind of bend it and crease it make it a little imperfect, and just bend it so that this little tab, we can glue it on the back side there. Okay, so I'm going to put glue on this little tab here, and just bend that over so that it has kind of a little bit of shape like that. You don't want it to be totally flat. Okay, so let that get a grip. And then we're going to take this part and glue it inside of here. And then we're going to take this piece here, and we're just going to get some glue. I'm going to glob some glue along the edge here, like that. And just pop this guy right in the center. And there's your flower. Okay, so just make sure that all that dries. And then once you're done with that, you're just going to adhere that to the edge there, and your project is all done.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.